But I also think that, like the analogy I give is if Apple, I'm a big Apple fan myself, created the next iPhone, it was like actually iPhone 5, and it was better than every other iPhone, but it was 100% made ethically. They have the power to make sustainability cool. And the cool factor is what really matters. And I think that a big problem in sort of our industry is that it's still tied to like what people would consider granola. And that is the problem, is that people don't care. People still need to, like, we're all humans, like we want attention, we want to have reputation, we want to be cool. So how do you make it cool is what I think about every single day. And to me, ethical fashion today should be less about being academic, even though I think that really matters, but more about like how do you make it really relevant into the general mainstream.
I think that the one point I was just going to make was the issue, I think, is with the question, because the reality is that, going back to what I said earlier, I mean, you can't, and Kate, you know this as a retailer, and certainly from my experience, both as a designer and representing 20, 25 different ethical fashion brands and watching their trajectories and seeing their orders come in every season and what didn't come in and what sold, is the reality is this, is that one of the biggest obstacles is the grouping together of businesses that have no business being together. Let's be frank, like, I make clothes for a certain type of customer. Just because someone else makes clothing ethically does not mean that they should hang next to me, have the same customer, be even described with the same set of vocabulary. It doesn't make sense. We don't do it in any of, you know what I mean? You don't walk around being like, oh, well, Michael Kors sold this much, but I got this thing at Kmart and start talking about them together and what the trends are. They're like different industries.
For us, what I can just speak on behalf of Holsti, that our community really, I think, is wants to purchase things that are made in a sustainable way and has a social impact. But the bottom line is, if it doesn't have good design, then they're not going to buy it. And that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter how sustainably made something is. If people aren't going to use it and buy it, then that's like inherently not sustainable, because just by producing something you have a carbon footprint. And I think that that's something super important to take into consideration. And you won't have a larger impact if you don't take into consideration the literal, like, aesthetic and functional purposes of your design.
Let's say Bloomingdale's, the other day, they opened the sustainable department. And I was expecting front of the store, as far as I understood, it was going to be amazing. We can have like a machine in the front, creating the zero waste garments, shimaseiki, like that. It happened at the 5th floor in the last corner of the store. And there the hangers were like the hangers you ship the merchandise in. They were clear and they were horribly cheap. And then there were some cardboard hangers. Somebody had good intentions. Sorry. But I go, that was the effort. I thought it was halfway. It was going to be, I expected better. But then again, I was not involved, so I shouldn't open my mouth, but no. But it's the idea is like, yeah, we need to have a base, like some structure.
I feel that we do see things out in the market. We see the conscious collection of H&M. We see a collaboration of Emma Watson with Alba Ferretti. We see Levi's made here. We see, I think that just came out, Urban Outfitters had a collaboration. So yes, I agree there are pockets, but I do, see things happening. And I have to say, compared, because we are traveling a lot to Europe, compared to Germany, for example, because of the history of what they have done already in sustainability, it's much more accepted. And to get brands into shops, it's much easier. Trade shows are really evolving amazingly. I have been following them now for 2 to 3 years, and it's really great how that's just growing.